It's so like leave of the video I'm looking right now for to be popular is not like that white plan that the so movement like the new plan to be part of that the job in the new preemption book. The clear quickly black and light of letter about like the last year of the last black between special visit to France like so we can certainly all this combined that definitely I'm bring all fragments combined that definitely actually possibly or before that and that's why naturally coming down to the conclusion that I see the queen of like the landscape badly badly want to that now trans most likely they would expand knowing some for this like for secret connected to like the landscape might be along the lines of like the quick conclusion that I'm looking something like that's right now to the experience so that the bring that that's right that something that for change of the like of situation for that of the bring that that's right that should be informed about that the person situation that of that front that kind of situation. So that the clean of the remission right now for I cannot quite to that not waste any time at all and like this straight away or person to like straight away head off quickly and catch up to that at that time that that big reveal that this crucial information to adapt that was now that I'm later. So that near that way that I'm going to send by adapt would be usually making it towards like at that point I'm going to bring like some that working up towards like and whispering towards like the and at that point like whispering like some revealing this crucial information of like the brand having been in the spirit. So that's the whispering without at that point being absolutely shocked and basically adapt at that point and getting absolutely shocked and embraced and like adapt, staring at like the twin and like seeing at that point of like this not done very different yet like enough at that like containing the base feels like at that point so some like a normal dancing at that what is it so like at that point I'm no different enough so that at that point I'm no different also like at that slightly like to that Robert slightly like Robert that basically that that like Raven had sort of two and basically the black information that Targaryen's opinion of like the finding of like a rumor about like the positive that 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 they commit contain whether who or not like this like they do that they're investing right now that like the authority and discussing right now attempt to that is like that might have elected him might have when like the authority might uh reaching like the words of it might have been what might have happened like the remarks and might have been like that to the what might have happened in the about the event and that the authority right might be seeing that as like and as same and we see the in order to like cover that up like the party might have covered that up by spreading light that like that they have that brave and like sort of common market might be like that would give that is the being made really that we are bring like it might the shadow land of outside it might be that naturally dragon lands might be like yeah I'm different and to the more people might exist there, where like it might be only dragon children that might exist there. Like it might be the Catalan side maybe might be an island or like a land like dragon children exist might be like that then the case that needs might be. Then in the my preference that for like electricity to the for like then being like a human to survive, not to survive, but to become like the queen ruler of all the dragon in like the family and cinema side in like it's like in Gina's dinosaur. So the game was trying for like the dragon, the three dragon, like actually like the future like as in the Liam was bring like then the Liam might be having that hidden power within about it like then might be another with like it was bring like then might be eventually ending up like I think causing like the dragon energy to like catch the demons the so, and for doing that like accidentally is like the scenario that and like this dragon like be growing up and basically eventually right and then the different dragons like simply growing up like the number then dragons in like the Game of Thrones so like dragons might have like big face so it might be like against the news so like the dragons like quickly growing up and basically in that is become filling one permission for like then required that will be workshop something and will be in that thing inside a state even in like the situation like at that point after still throw the dragons of them throw the real dragons of like then was like in that then point getting freedom and like from there, like the dragons taking time to make the channel and the and through such a manner, so on, selectively become like the queen of like the dragon, and the dragon queen, like the dragon queen, like the shadow and like the queen ruler of like the shadow and the ways, like the future is like in this now, that I'm going to the interesting way. That's actually one impression about the dragon. That's my question about like the property and like the dragon flag and like the word of extinction, like that those information might have been passed down from like the long different ancestors of like the writing, even though like some state of writing, even including Calvado might be aware of like that is good behind like the connection of like the dog writing behind like the dog writing and like the I can definitely a different like Calvado naturally might be as well as like the entirety of like even like the dog writing might be deep down extremely afraid of like the wagon and it so like for example like the practice like fear comes into like the white grass of like the travel and the naturally might not be connected to and the white grass but like might be the wagon that like the party might be actually covering up when calling it white grass might be like the travel and the like you like that to the case the payment like the one sort of fight to drive into the position might be the men of like the all men of the private type, even though the person might be extremely deep down afraid of like right, they might have ignored that after fear towards like the right and like that after fear might be of like the scenario because they might be living where like the dragon the public reflect dragons of like the shadow lands of the side straight to the point of like and of the different like dragons might be having that extremely huge lifespan still might be like the case of pain of and that experience might be like the case of that the like that atmosphere of like the right might actually be and like the possibility of like in that it is like the dragon population like the shadow lands of the side and like to the point of like the dragons like be like spreading out of like the channel and stuff like that and that way like the dragons like appear like everywhere across like the world and at that point that every the that's the key that the but at the end that such the situation would be like the spectrum of that the dragon right might be along the lines of like the actual growth belief for belief of like the private and that would be awesome that it might be tried in it like it might be like the case of like the race of right so like the name of the theorem right now is called lack of the data or lack the person going along with lack the dark white including that approach the red or the dark white and lack the lack the dark white happening on lack the things about like the personality setup. For example, I'm going that person going along with lack the dark white to be taken down might be tired of that kind of talent, might be desperate, want might have always wanted to live in that black second that might have been reflected to the flexible direction. That as well as that thing would be most likely be like the situation as like to like have absolute opportunity to get an absolute great reward from like the feeling to help out to make that absolute betrayal and helps out like the team and this would be that not getting a huge reward by the team, but also the team might most likely let him also live and let the team then might see along the lines of so recording that him to be most likely hoping for and that way like an sprint that along their journey that had affected so like him actually making that absolute require and for the unexpected for like that's why like and that you to think that trouble happening with that thing will not set on the plan. But yeah, that point of going up can realistically uh, uh, playing out of stride without like a production showing up to like getting landing but then on the thing talking like straight away like to that trading down that like the Bulgarian have only 4 us to land but until to get on the land like to the Gada and basically we're talking absolutely shocked and usually and extremely worried and like they're that same way getting ready to like get back to like the hotel along with like and that same way heading forward like they need like to army to like actually coming into that to be along the lines of at that point or like that straight away demand to that thing Robert is like the scenario that involves the and so at that point King Robert is actually enough and like to something and definitely will bring down like the target is together to the along the line like over telling the number that things things. Not in the so like them to be getting ready and the number of different as like they will be getting the army will be getting ready to like set out to something like that going to get but they have to look my company for like before Eddard's wife like setting up from critical and possible and like maybe Eddard's wife might have also revealed crucial information about land about connected to like the land this might be like the dates that we don't remember. So certainly like the person especially Eddard's wife on the King's Road might be aware of this crucial information. So that like he might be definitely at that point stealthily approaching like on the King's Landing and so the stealthily approach like the Queen and tell the Queen about like the actuality of like the situation and like the in secret election revealing to like the Queen about like the actuality of the situation and like Twitter felt about like the wife and conversation connecting to like and something to like the landscape, the country, but and all that like and so the point like revealing to the feelings of layman prevision and we did only anything for that as good reward from like the green boy. So like at that point I'm between like between taking him to like Janian and I'm looking without it creating like Janian in that point down with that it just like now then I'm looking at the game bring like the straight away planning out for strategy and like between straight away like summoning that the dinner was like the army and that will be going along with like that and Robert will be taking to them against like another that I'm correct between totally surviving like the general of that army into like agreeing to like by making rules offers for like the general like between getting like the general to like the side like between and agreeing to that betray King Robert and along the way to that along the way to that like scenario that so that way I'm going to like the general agreeing to that for different as like attack and to Robert as well as like the he's will be getting off the like the land along the way like in the way like and like the general like basically making that up good betrayal and another point at that point when I'm going to think right now for like the loss of Captain Robert like it happens like this now at that point so like but yeah so different at that point like adapt being able to get to anything, absolutely nothing at all, or when he felt against like the dude down. So that when like totally focusing on like escaping to as soon as possible escaping from like the army and taking it towards like the fleeing of the ambush. That's at that point I'm talking like the only strategy that will be in like the point number one should be as soon as possible to make it towards like critical so that like at that point like the army that's like chasing up the down would be clashing with like the Sargerian uh and basically while they will be battling it out like at that point like enough to hopefully be able to like take advantage of that situation and will be hopefully save like enough family who still might be alive to the around the line like the dog will be pointing at that way like I'm trying like enough racing the like it might be a lot more than like all the other like the like the scenario like that way enough making it before like the civic army would be making to like the like adapt like a bit before but like adapt making it towards like people like go adapt as like adapt would make it towards like to like adapt approaching with that app to tell that I'm totally correct by that here I'm totally correct maybe from like the sort of and like kind of and just very few of practice company alone like managing to like their latest get out of that okay available from like the white box like scenario that was right. Who knows of like adults life like the state accounting to like the land just strictly when friend so that by then like in that way like the law is like the adults like at the for brand like a different like 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 the second happening right of Friday. It's like it's another so like at that point like by making it to making it feel like like shortly seeing like the whole situation and really around like stealthily sneaking it to yeah you can like the middle of you can come thing is now that basically so but we are different like for like at that point was like we taking the decision so like after in Finland and would most likely take the risk to like the risk still not won't be satisfied you know that way after gender and would like unless and until get another zone and that might be along the lines of like even that point the mindset of like the be remote trainers but leave because like caring brand like brand I don't like to know that again but like it's planning on you to take you as like a punishment why to actually the third would be proceeding like and would be before getting out and like to punish the guy who's trying to be along the lines on the different line because you know second line so like that way and the different trying to be like put it like in the mind of them like without that way they'll feel that as is the American to like meaning to like the kingdom and like without that fighting brand like like without steadily taking brand with it. And basically at that point like only think like at that fight that will be seen like it's a bit like everybody else is like a little bit of a different the fight that might have been from a fight like the results like the fight yeah might be like it is the so at that point, like the only thing like it does might be to that definitely at more cost to that at least be able to like save one 15 minutes. So like at that point take the decision and slightly to like straight away cut off to like the wall and basically it like it up even it up make it to like the wall like that it up would be just be able to like save one would be along the lines like it up would be so like having that for the different stuff given like adopt study like getting this like course and basically like the would be study like the like think of it with like and like at that point I wrote the point of like caldo and like pocket and like the pronounce that and so but like in so in consider at that point that was like in the army of like between facing up like as a would be even making it to like particular section or like so like straight away like I'm looking like the class between like that army and like the operating army and like the scenario so that we are entering like the operating army literally community like the army is particularly like sound and everything and like with along with like the operating army straight away chasing after like pick up like good now and I'm preparing for like the process of like the authority might be way stronger and faster than like the process of that even the dark might be like against the there is so like so as like the dark will be nearing to like the wall like and like the dark is really making it towards like the wall and making it towards like some and a will budget and like it does like making it there and like the dark and like the wall like and like then but at that point, Selvan was praying for like the army of like the party as well as like the Hungarian like will be at that point that what remained so close to like the war of the but like at that point when I'm afraid of like that the army uh they considered by the white wall which is like so now it's the number of that way like I'm going to be maybe at that point that like so of like Calvarado happening by that the white wall was straight away like the remaining of army like to flex the law rather like them all getting down and them all trying to like fit. But like I'm spending like the white water being so fast and then the like the majority of like the party being gone down by the way the land is not that sort of thing. And by then like that so the situation might be such that basically the Targaryens and like sort of party might have been made towards that little guy and in actuality and like might have captured the and like might have of like the whole laws of like everyone to like the minimum right now for like the they all like something for like things of me to like straight away so kind to like being it's like it's not the number of thing and the player bring at that point for like to being to that something really exaggerate like particular and while something people trying job way as like absolutely wonderful probably in the second in the it's not that number of thing in between straight away with all of that and the different being extremely encouraged straight away is like Sugnarik like Arya. So it's like Sugnarik and the word is like Sugnarik so that near different like Joffrey at that point and uh definitely from the different like that whole situation to getting in like the very next day itself Arya waking up to that the street stop of like the dog of that word like Sugnarik that under different so definitely on top of that, like I'm different while Joffrey would be trying to like between like I'm Joffrey definitely making that as the demand that is really that idea to definitely bow down and apologize to Joffrey in front of like everyone in like the team of landing to be along the lines like Joffrey getting the queen and like being straight away the thing that is like the right thing to do. Right and that's the thing to do. Expecting on premise. So definitely like an embrace being like straight away telling King Robert about this and I'm going to bring at that point like King Robert like in a polite manner like like King Robert like the settings that the situation to adapt straight away telling him. So like at that point adapt straight away telling Robert that basically that definitely the main right and said idea definitely must apologize to that Joffrey. Right, from what we're doing to the along the lines that definitely adapt like of course to the along the lines like adapt to the like like another that I'm going to say and then adapt like quite idea would be that after the shock and sadness of lack of thing like about the plan and the frame for like adapting like folding along with like idea like adapt as well like between this folding for idea it's like it's not that approach against failing idea that is there is absolutely no no question that idea definitely will apologize power down and apologize to lack of faith in the still one like something of that to be along the lines that that to be segregate product and selling idea that like there is another certain available. So idea will be at that time feeling is sad and so like the next day if you want to be present and like ready for like different ideas like apologize to job is like it's not available. It's more happening in like the essence of that in like the exact location of like the King's throne where like Robert will be sitting and like right there Robert like the queen as well will be sitting and like Joffrey as well will be sitting on like the tree close by and at that point for like idea going down and like at that point like Joffrey to be acknowledged that having like extremely uh villain sticks while staring at like Nadia so like Nadia at that point with that absolute extreme or like frenzy and frustration like still walking up to the center and basically Nadia bowing down and maybe kneeling down and maybe idea will be about to like apologize. But even at that last second, while idea will be looking at like Joffrey will just having that realistic smile and will staring at idea like like at that in last second of that like the idea will be about to apologize to like Joffrey and that will last second time idea will be having it and basically idea not forgetting it, idea shouting out in front of everyone that basically that it's Joffrey that has to like apologize that Joffrey that started the job and that because of Joffrey that that she has lost her whole family. Joffrey has apologized with that really not that bit of the apology Joffrey but Joffrey that has to like apologize because today along the lines that Arya has to be shouting out in front of that Arya would definitely not don't apologize to like Joffrey today along the lines like Arya would be shouting in front of that shop. Robert as well as like extremely shocked and encouraged between his like not that I'm so at that point, it's a conflict that between getting up and like taking jogging and dealing like the room like not that are totally correct. And like Robert will be in that Robert will be in like a confused kind of like state in the like scenario that I got and like that will be really extremely disappointed and extremely embraced towards the idea that was like written out that I got so that we have the day after that like I'm going even without job right now having to say anything at all to like doing I'm going like the next day like I'm going for that idea to wake up to like and it's even bigger extreme shock of like the shock of like the loss of that idea of great front like the picture is like the scenario that I'm going to think. So and I'm going to find that to be most likely according to like the whole of between without even job having to like say anything at all to like between upper like idea upon the member would have refused that apology to each of face like the scenario that so like at that point I'm not like the shock even because of like a shock of like the loss of that professor on that idea at that point feeling absolutely confused and frustrated and extremely sad and idea and that point to be trying and basically idea at that point like on the tears like it's going idea is turning into that as the build that has to the face towards like the and idea from that point on that setting up as that biggest priority in her life to like get her revenge on like shopping is that the scenario that of the movement and the very right. Yeah, like the clean of the Kundera and the right now but for like the queen to like to like allow and down to them front down like the level it's like the scenario that I'm going to bring and definitely at that point I'm going to be thinking for like that you know staying there like the man of like like the thing persuade man of like and still adapt eventually feeling that he has no other choice with the like English and definitely adapt not creating more of that an issue conflicts and then he adapt like remaining silent even though being the silent and like the man of like adapt main keeping silent and basically at that point I'm totally thankful for that both the daughters of that adapt like and bring that feeling extremely sad and I'm totally like and I'm trying to like take them away, but like I'm trying like them still like usually ending up running back to like the location where like they will be all think that like the queen would be like the ones that will be bring down like the lady, and like at that very last second I'm totally like the queen would be about to do it like a good French likely Joffrey like seeing like the girlfriend basically Joffrey at that point like a villain smile like stopping like the queen, and will be Joffrey himself like bring down like the world like so that was just like the scenario that I'm going to bring that up really. And that we're going to mention we can bring the like the laws of like the right of daily like bring the day the dark like government definitely not wanting anything to do with like Joffrey anymore, and to not don't marry Joffrey's like the scenario that I'm going to bring in today. But so definitely I'm bring that that sort of shouting that out in an impression that managed to at that time, and at that point, I'm from like I thought that this comedy feeling that from this like sort of questions that he doesn't write and basically end up especially eventually telling King Robert about his like daughter president to withdraw from like the marriage with like Joffrey, and being at that point I'm preparing for like King Robert being absolutely enraged and like King Robert having that the so King Robert like I'm referring like starting to intimidate enough and with his like powerful starting to like integrate it up and basically telling it up to like basically to like be careful with like this will and basically for like to making giving the order to like enough to like making this like not understand and basically get her to class. Secondly, ensure to like get her to like agree to like narrating with like so like things narrating that I'm going to example. I'm not looking for like the time like I'm looking for like a Robert to be extremely disturbed and disappointed, and I'm looking like a Robert like revealing eventually revealing this to like the queen is like this narrative that I'm looking, and like that way like the queen has well as like the queen as well as Joffrey would be finding out about the Liam was at that point for like the queen as well as well as Joffrey both of them would be definitely still wanting to like definitely ensure that like the Joffrey gets married to the last daughter supplement to him. So definitely I would bring like the queen as well as like Joffrey at that point won't be having any affection behind that decision to like want the like dog, but like I'm remembering that them to be treating as a black basically that should be there and would prevent since like enough at that point going to like get married to like the free like even with not that I'm looking at. But then thinking along that line at that point is like maybe like getting with scenario that I'm looking at the we say that but then still one friend think of like eventually the target time like because party to like catch up that thing at that point, I'm going like the loss of that. If you want to have that specific towards like doing happening including adults like but like Brian the spare the second now and of course pretty much like we do at that point while Brian will be in that carefully kind of situation by the writing and like the target and like at that point I'm thinking maybe Brian maybe like that interaction maybe between like the girl and Brian happening in this like maybe Brian revealing the crucial secret left about like the Lannister secret, like the twin secret, like and like from front of like a different land, maybe the finding out is like that about different. So definitely I'm different and according to my target, I'm still remembering for like a scenario where like the dark managing to like make it all the way to like when the villain save from like the captivity of that Targaryen and like quite very flexible and making it along with like trying to connect the balls to the series like putting out that I'm so like at that point I'm trying after making it to like the ball like I'm still the frame of like the ball like through run like a different maybe adapt as well as like adapt some as well. Fuck has been fighting out about like the secret of like the Queen and Jamie like being the scenario where I'm going to bring the and from that point on, the different wall like from like the wall like and the different wall like at that most like setting a raven to king of landing the and like the letters to be contain the like the raven like writing down like the secret of like Jamie and like it is like the scenario that so the name was spring like the place itself was using that was like scenario that is different that's basically fighting that level for men for like a queen self-defense, now that I'm going to like that way, like the queen seeing like the level of getting of that, and like the queen getting that as the biggest strong. They are like into different like adapt only using deciding to like move that secret video like the queen and Jamie has that secret ultimate weapon of like to eventually get like revenge against the queen and Jamie is like even personality that because like by then like sold the consumer and then sitting on to that sold it is like the green like the down thing forward would have happened. And I'm also thinking maybe of like the possibility of like maybe sold it in like the green like and by the time for the by the time like that would have that and it is back to like the like at that point like maybe adapt even with nothing like the long of the flag and it is like son by the correctly but like not being able to like, do anything about it solely due to the Queen's lack betrayal through lack tried it like the not like what my theory but the claim of grain. So solely due to like the Queen like things even to filing it to like get out more opinion to like save like Stanley to like it's a cost run like I don't know opinion that save it's like something like now that is over. So like that way like not even doing using like the secret of that thing and like the queen of like that has to go with weapon from that eventually is like the narration the middle of the thing and the reaction with.